Hello children. And go with the answers. The first question here it is, what does an egg yolk contain? So what does an egg yolk contain? So what is an egg yolk, children, which is yellow in color? So what does it contain? Does it contain water, stored food, soil or sunlight? So and the answer here is like it contains stored food, that is B option. B option. It contains stored food. Clear children? Now the second question. Which of these reproduces by laying eggs? So here you can see 4 animals in the slide. So what are they? They are tiger, cat, rat and frog. No. So from these animals, so we have to identify which one is reproducing by laying eggs. No. So what is the answer, children? Any guesses? Yes, it is like what? Frog. No, this is the answer. D option. Whereas rat, tiger and cat, these three, they give birth directly to their young ones. No, but frog lays eggs. Okay, children? So this is the correct option. D option. We'll go to the third question. The following is a table of some organisms and the names of their babies. Which of these is not true? Okay. So here we have given the name of the organism, okay, and the names of the babies. So we have to identify which one does not match, that is which is not true. Okay children. So if you see here, cockroach. Cockroach is for nymph. Frog is for tadpole. Butterfly is for maggot. Cat is for kitten. No. So from this, which is the wrong option? Yes, A is correct. B is also correct. But C is wrong. Butterfly young one is called as puma. It is not maggot. Okay children. And cat young one is called kitten. So this A, B and D options are correct, whereas C is wrong. Okay children. So our answer is C option. Clear? Now we'll go with the fourth question. Which of the following does not take care of its young ones? So here you have given 4 pictures. So one is a human being, B is a crocodile, C is a bird, D is a lion. Okay. So from these 4 creatures, which does not take care of its young ones? Human beings, we take care of the young ones. Birds also, they will feed the young ones with the food. Okay. Even lion also, it feeds its young one. But except crocodile, no. Other 3 will take care. So crocodile does not take care of its young ones. So B is our correct answer. Clear children? Fifth question here. The diagram given below illustrates the process of nymph. That is shedding its skin. Okay. That is shedding its skin. So this is known as, okay, whether it is known as molting, whether it is known as reproduction, life cycle or food chain. So if you see here children, so this is the adult cockroach, then from this nymph, that is the baby cockroach comes, no. Given below illustrates the process of nymph, that is shedding its skin. This is of cockroach. Okay, here if you observe children, in the picture you can just see the life cycle of the cockroach, which is of 3 stages. No. So here you can see the adult adult cockroach and its eggs. Okay. After laying eggs, what is happened? The young one is hatched. That is this nymph. The young one is called as nymph. So to become an adult butterfly, this nymph has to shed its skin for several times. No. So this process is called as, what does it called as? Whether it is called as molting, reproduction, life cycle, or food chain. So we have to identify this one, that is shedding its skin. What does it called as? It is called as molting. Okay children, molting. Clear? The process of shedding its skin of any insect for becoming an adult insect, okay, is called as molting. Clear? Now children, this is the 6th question. Tadpoles respire through. Tadpoles. What are tadpoles children? The young ones of frogs. Okay. So they are called as, what are they called? They respire through. They respire through whether lungs, skin, fins and gills. Okay. With what they do respire? Tadpoles respire through gills. Okay children, D option is the correct one. How are the animals given below similar? This is the 7th question. So here you can see 3 animals in the picture. So what are they? It is bat, whale and deer. See here clearly children, there is a bat here, whale and deer in the picture. So how these animals are similar? In the sense, they are similar to the others. They have the same quality, same feature, same character. So what is that? A option is their eggs have hard shells. B is their eggs must be incubated. C option is they give birth to live young one. D option is they do not look after their young ones. Okay children. So which will be the correct? Do their eggs have hard shells? No. Actually they do not lay eggs. So A option is wrong. B. Their eggs must be incubated. Incubated in the sense children, providing some warmth to the eggs. Okay. So because they do not lay eggs, so this option also becomes the wrong answer. They give birth to live young ones. Okay. Is this correct? Yes. This is the correct answer. Okay. So they give birth to the young ones. Okay children. And they do not look after their young ones. D option. But this is also wrong. They do care of their young ones. So C option is the correct answer. Clear children? So we'll move on to the 8th question here. The diagram given below represents the, so here is a diagram, okay, of a life cycle of a butterfly. So what does this represents? So I am already given you the answer while I was telling you about the question. So again let us check. So what is our answer? Whether it is a food chain, B option is population, C is life cycle, D is change of state. Okay, see here children, butterfly is going, this adult butterfly, there is a 4 stages of this reproduction process here. Adult butterfly laying eggs on the leaf, and these eggs becoming into larva, and this larva again turning into pupa. Okay, this pupa again becomes an adult butterfly after shedding its leaves for its skin for so many times. Okay, so this is the life cycle of the butterfly. Okay, so that is why C option is the correct answer. Clear children? Now we'll go to the 9th question. The diagram given below shows the stages in the life cycle of an insect. which of these is in the correct order? See, just now we have discussed about this, no, about the life cycle of a butterfly. Here also the same is given, but it is given in a wrong order. So we have to state it in a correct order. We have to identify the correct order. So here children, this P is of larva. This one, okay, P is of larva stage. Okay, then this is the second stage. Okay, if you see, Q is of eggs, that is the first stage. R is the adult butterfly, the final stage. We'll mark it as the fourth stage. S is of puma, that is the third stage. No. So now, what will be our correct answer? Q, P, S, R. No. So that is why C option is the correct one. Clear children? Now, the 10th question. Which of the following has developing embryo? Which of the following has developing embryo? What is embryo children? So which is inside the egg? No. And where it is? That we have to identify here. So whether it is albumen, whether it is a shell, whether it is yolk, or whether both A and B, that is albumen and shell. No, where does the embryo develop? Okay, here albumen is nothing but the white jelly type of substance in the egg. No, so you do not have embryo there. So this is the wrong answer. Shell is the outer layer of the egg. So even here you do not have embryo. Yolk is what children? The yellow colored substance. So where you will be having the developing embryo. No. So that is why C is the correct answer. Even D option, both A and B are also wrong. Clear children? So in the yolk, the embryo develops and it gets hatched, in the sense by breaking the shell of the egg. Okay children? Now we'll move into the 11th question here. Which of the following terms completes the missing stage in the life cycle given below? See here children, it is about the cockroach here, cockroach life cycle. So here, so there are only two stages. The third stage here, it is of question mark. No, we have to identify which is this stage. Okay, so is it maggot, is it toad, is it tadpole, or is it nymph? Before question, I mean 5th or 6th question only we have discussed about this, if I am not wrong. Is it maggot, toad, tadpole, or nymph? Okay, the baby cockroach, it is D, that is nymph. Okay children, so D option is the correct answer. Clear? Now 12th question. Look at the figure below. At which stage of the life cycle of an animal could have caused the change in the leaf? See here you have got a picture children, and there is a leaf here, and we have to identify at which stage of the life cycle of an animal could have caused the change in the leaf. So there is a change in the leaf, yes or no? So if you see here, this leaf is a complete leaf. Here if you see, this leaf is not complete. It is somehow a little bit folded. No. At which stage of an animal, when it is going through its life cycle in the reproduction process, so there we can see this change. Okay, where we can see this change, at which stage of the insect's life cycle, whether on egg, when there is egg laid on the leaf, or when there is larva on the leaf, pupa, okay, and then adult insect. Okay children? Yes, the answer is B option, that is larva. Okay, so when the larva is on the leaf, so automatically that larva is going to take the food from the leaf. Okay, so that is why the leaf shape has been changed. Clear, children? Okay, now here if you see 13th question, look carefully at the figures given below. Which of the following statements are correct to the given figures? See children, here you have got two pictures. No, one is an insect. Okay, another one is also a baby insect. A baby insect, suppose. Okay, so both cannot, no, so we have to choose the correct statements. Okay children, so the first option is both cannot fly, and the second option is both resemble their parents. Third one is both are hatched from eggs. Fourth one is both have 3 stages of growth. Okay, see here. So if you see children, this picture is of the baby cockroach. Baby cockroach. Okay, so this one is of the question children. Look carefully at the figures given below. Which of the following statements are correct to the given figures? Here if you can see children, so you are having two insects here. No, one is a cockroach, the other one is the larva, that is the caterpillar. Okay, here see these two. Okay, so we have to identify like which statements are true. So whereas we have got 4 statements, from that we have to identify which statement is true with particular of these animals. Okay children, and the first statement is both cannot fly. Both cannot fly. Okay, so can a caterpillar fly children? And also this cockroach can fly? Yes, so they can't fly. No, so this is the correct statement. Okay, now we'll see with the second one. Both resemble their parents. Both resemble their parents. Is it true? Cockroach, the young cockroach and the young butterfly, do they resemble their parents? No, they do not resemble the parents. So that is why the second statement is a wrong statement. And third one is both are hatched from eggs. Both are hatched from eggs. So cockroach and the butterfly produce their young ones through what? Through eggs. No. So and both the insects eggs are hatched. So that is why the third one is again the correct statement. Okay children. And the fourth one, both have 3 stages of growth. The fourth one, both have 3 stages of growth. Is it correct or wrong statement? So whereas cockroach has got 3 stages of growth, butterfly has got 4 stages of growth. No, when we talk about the life cycle, so butterfly has got 4 stages of growth. Okay, and this larva, or we can also call it as a caterpillar, this is the butterfly's young one. Okay, so that is why this statement is also wrong. So now which are the correct statements children? So 1 and 3, only 1 and 3. So B option is the correct one. See here, B option is the correct statement. Clear children? Okay, now we'll go with the 14th question. Which of these animals reproduces by laying eggs? So animal which is going to reproduce by laying eggs. So we are got 4 options here. A is turtle, B is fish, C is snake, and D is all the above. So turtle, fish and snake, all the animals reproduce by laying eggs. So that is why D option is the correct answer. Clear children? Now the 15th question. Shilpa saw some cracks on the wall. She found some egg cases in the cracks. they are likely to belong to the dash. Okay, so what is the question, children? So Shilpa, she saw some cracks on the wall. No, if you observed, children, even in our homes also, sometimes on the walls we'll be having cracks. And sometimes we also found some small eggs in black in color. Even Shilpa also, she found some egg cases which were black in color in that particular cracks of the wall. So they are likely to belong to the which insect, whether frog, mosquito, butterfly or cockroach. So to which insect does this egg cases belong? So that we have to identify. So whether it is a frog, mosquito, butterfly or cockroaches. No, where do frog live, children? It lives on the land and also in the water. So it is not going to lay eggs on our walls. Yes or no? So this is the wrong option. Butterfly, it lays eggs on the leaves. No, as we learnt. So because it live on trees. So that is why B also wrong option. Mosquito. So mosquito also, what happens? It lives in the air. No. So that is why this also is wrong option. And what is remaining? Cockroach. So cockroaches, they live on the land and they live in the houses also, inside our houses also. No. So they lay eggs on the walls, on the ground, okay, in our houses. So that is why D option is the correct answer. Clear, children? Now we'll move on to the 16th question. At which of the following stage of the life cycle of the butterfly metamorphosis takes place? See, metamorphosis. What is metamorphosis, children? A physical change, in the sense, so which is going to change physically. Okay, when a particular animal or insect is going to develop into an adult one, so it undergoes some physical changes. As we see here, first it lays egg. No, so this is the eggs, A option. So B, again it becomes like a larva, okay, which is on the leaf. Again the third stage, that is C. This is the pupa. No, where it has got the skin formed and it is going to shed the skin for many times, which we call it as molting. Okay, after shedding the leaves for many times, it is going to become as a butterfly. No, so the physical change where it becomes as an adult. Okay, so in which stage of the life cycle of the butterfly this change takes place, that is metamorphosis takes place, that is C option, children. In pupa. Okay, so here the butterfly is going to take a change to form as a adult butterfly. Okay, children, physical change, that is shedding its leaves and becoming as an adult butterfly. Clear, children? Okay, now we'll go to the 17th question. These eggs are found in the ground. They are laid by the female dash. Okay, children, see the eggs which are in the ground. So this, okay, here these are the eggs. Okay, so these are laid by the female dash, whether by the frog or by the mosquito or by the fish or by the turtle. Okay, see how is the egg? No. So how is the egg? It is a bit large. No. So then turtle is our answer, which is going to lay the eggs in the ground. Clear, children? Now 18th question. Observe the figures given below. How do these animals protect themselves from enemies, from their enemies? Okay. How do they protect themselves from their enemies? So here you have got two animals. What are they? Deer and also zebra. No, this is the deer and zebra. So we have to identify how they protect themselves from their enemies. By what? A option is they live in groups. B option is they pretend to be dead. C, they give off bad smell. D is They attack their enemies with their claws. So which one, children? Do they pretend to be dead? No. They give off bad smell. This is also a wrong one. Okay. And they attack their enemies with their claws. No, this is also wrong one. No. So A option is the correct one. That is, they live in groups. So they live in groups. So that is why it is very difficult for the enemy to attack them. So because they live together, too many animals together in groups. Okay, children, clear? Now the 19th question. Which of these provide food to the growing embryo? Which of these provide food to the growing embryo? Okay, children. A option is albumin, B is yolk, C is eggshell, D is both A and C. Okay. So we are talking about the egg here. So inside the egg, so we have got a embryo. Embryo is in the sense the baby, the young baby which has to be developed, which has to be come out of the egg. No, which has to be hatched. Okay, children. And which of these is going to provide food to that growing embryo? Albumin. Albumin is what, children? It is a white jelly substance. Yolk. It is what? The yellow one. No. Eggshell. The outer layer of the egg. Both A and C, that is albumin and eggshell. So which contains food and which is going to provide it to the embryo, provide the food to embryo? That is yolk. Yolk. Okay, children? Yolk has got food stored in it and it is going to provide that food to the embryo. Okay, children? Clear? Now we'll go to the 20th question. The figure below shows the different stages in a life cycle. Which of the following animals go through the life cycle shown below? Here, see, children, this is the figure of a life cycle which is showing us of a different stages. No, the adult one laying eggs, egg becoming again the larva, no, larva again becoming the pupa, again the pupa becoming the adult. So these are the 4 stages of a life cycle. So we have to identify to which animal or an insect that this belong. Okay, children? So the first option is butterfly, second option is grasshopper, third one is silkworm, and fourth one is cockroach. Fourth one is cockroach. So which have got this life cycle? So the option is butterfly and also the silkworm. That is B option. Okay, only 1 and 3. So these 3 insects are going to undergo 4 stages of life cycle as it is there in our picture. Clear, children? Okay, now we'll go with the 21st and the last question of today. Which of the following life cycles is correctly drawn? Which of the following life cycles is correctly drawn? See, children, here you can see the life cycles of 3 stages. No, so this is of actually cockroach life cycle. No, adult, egg, nymph, all this. No, the young nymph, cockroach is called as nymph. So we have to identify the life cycle which is drawn correctly. Okay, so we'll just do that now. So which one, children? Which will be the correct one? First it must be adult. Then the adult will lay the eggs. Again the eggs, again it turn as a nymph. Again the nymph is the young nymph, that is going to become an adult. So how must be our sequence? Adult, then egg, then nymph. No. So where do we have this option? Yes, the C option. Okay, see here. The adult becoming egg, then egg becoming nymph, again nymph is turning as an adult cockroach. Clear, children? So this